Iberia, ravaged by the bloody tides of four, kings and sultans, dukes and emirs. Adversity makes for strange bedfellows, my friend. And you must read carefully if you are to decide the fate of Iberia.
I, Guifre the Hairy, am content as a father. My 3 oldest daughters are married off, destined for great things, and within 3 years, the rest of my children will have come of age. Antha and I could not be prouder parents. As I grow older, the desire to push my limits seems greater and greater. I want to leave a legacy for my children, a realm they can use as a foundation for a better life than I ever had. If I can outlive King Charles, perhaps my brother-in-law Prince Louis, that reclusive drunk, won't be able to have the hold his father has now. Time will tell. I'm a patient man, but eager. Hello everybody, this is Havoc and welcome back to our Crusader Kings 3 role-playing series as DUKE Guifré The Hairy. First and foremost, thank you very much for showing up today. I do appreciate it. And before we begin with all the things, of course, the YouTube algorithm, you can support this channel by giving the video a like, subscribing to the channel, turning on bell notifications, and leaving your comments. I read every single one of them, respond to, well, most of them. But we do have some cool things that I want to show off outside of the role-playing perspective as we set things up. I have labeled some people. I figured out how. I actually downloaded a mod called, go figure, Rename Anyone. So I have a couple of people. Nexus and Rattus are in this episode. For now, they are the 2 biggest supporters over on my Twitch page. They are the moderators for this channel. So they will have primary focus for now. But of course, as I mentioned, I'm going to start integrating all of the YouTube members and all of the patrons. So the goal here, again, outside of the role-playing thing, is that if someone new is introduced to the court, I will then use that introduction, go in, change their name to something applicable, which will bring you into it. Now, going forward in the future, if there is something that you would prefer to have as a financial supporter, then I can try and work you in on that perspective. Otherwise, best of luck. That's basically all I got. But guys, I thank you. I'm very excited to see where today's episode goes. So let's dive into it. At the end of the previous chapter in my life, it ended not so well. While my daughter has come to full health, she is married off. 3 of my daughters have married off. The war that I was drug into by my in-laws, of which I gladly took part of, resulted in a great mistake on my behalf. Rather than go by sea, I drug my army across the land, was defeated in ambush. Has to be one of the most embarrassing things I have done in my life. More so than claiming that I was the one that farted to secure the attraction of my wife way back in the day. So I have decided to withdraw myself from this war. I am not going to pump money, men, or anything into a war in which my supposed family will not support me in. We're going to let it ride out. It will end disastrously for them. That is unfortunate, but that's also unfortunate to not support one like myself. Upon returning home to Barcelona, it was whispered in my ear that perhaps my council could use a little bit of a shakeup, that I have remained a bit too content in the current status of things, and there is an insufficiency. And indeed, that is true. My Marshal Berenger Renard, as awesome as it has been that he has supported me, he is not best suited for this role whatsoever. And in fact, he is not even a powerful vassal. So instead, what I could do is bring in Mayor Bleeded Nexus of Andorra. He has a great, vastly superior martial status, along with about every type of lifestyle, commander trait, and education trait to go along with it. We will assign him to it. We will lose 20 opinion with Mr. Boenger, but that is all right. Nexus, my friend, please don't let me down. And in fact, he will hopefully do so well that should I conquer lands, I might even give him some, were that to be the case. Next, Myron de Barcelona, my brother, who's my chancellor, who is my friend. He's suffering from consumption. While I certainly could add Nexus into that spot as well, goodness gracious, he is fantastic. Baron, who is my courtier, who is actually married to my daughter Antha, would make a relatively good diplomat. Sorry, brother. I have to take care of the realm. And then last but not least, it has been made known that since fabricating costs such little prestige, that I am indeed making a vast amount of prestige beyond what I can even pass on, that I should try and make claims as much as possible. So my Bishop Bernat Amat of Barcelona will gladly do so. Upon further examination of various aspects of my realm, there are a few court positions that I can also fill. I have the money and the financial ability to do so, so why not? My Seneschal, which will increase control growth, I could bring it down to Ariella del Intimiano. She, fornicator, which is unfortunate. It is a crime. But everything else about her is just something that I need to have. The control growth point for a month is fantastic. I can also do a court jester, and who better than my sister? But I think we could level her in here. Court grandeur, stress relieving events is mainly what I'm using for her. Absolutely. For a small, meager amount of money. Last but certainly not least, a personal champion. And this, of course, could go no other than to Diatwin. This dude is a beast and a half, a skilled tactician, a legendary blade master, forest fighter. He would gain me a great deal of prestige, my dread decay would decrease by a lot, and he can take place in some duels, absolutely. I do believe a bodyguard would be nice as well. Radulf de Barcelona, who is my brother and my knight, I think would be great. And I could have another one, Pancratios Callistos, who is my son-in-law, who is the husband to Elisenda de Barcelona. There we go. Now what I need to ensure is that any of these people, I need to start befriending them, especially Pancratios, because I would hate for my bodyguard to be someone who dislikes me. And in fact, I probably should have done this beforehand, but I think it'll work out regardless. Last but certainly not least, before we begin the journey, it has been a very long day of taking care, sending off messengers to execute orders all over the place. Marrying off my 3 daughters has only confirmed and reaffirmed that in the next 3 years, the rest of my children will come of age. And I need to marry them off now, while I can, before a potential suitor runs away, or perhaps gets taken. Nimilde de Barcelona, what a gorgeous young woman she has become. She has the opportunity to marry Salah ad-Din ibn Nazanin, who is currently 16, so it would be a betrothal for only a year, probably less than, actually. The best parts about this is, yes, this might get inherited, but more so, we are able to enlist an alliance of a very, very vastly superior army that we could potentially use within the peninsula itself, perhaps even to take on fellow Christians, which I'm not adverse to doing. And in fact, it's something that I would have to do, or my descendants, in order to secure the kingdom of Aragon. He will barely accept this. This is a matrilineal marriage as well, and who knows, it may lead to great things. While my wife and I are finding suitors, we are looking at Guifré II de Barcelona. We have found what could be undoubtedly the most beneficial match in the entire Western European continent. In Noguin, she is Earl Alfred's spymaster. Earl Alfred is of Wessex, and also his court physician. She has fantastic stats, including a vastly superior amount of stewardship, which will help Guifré II allow him to have a lot of realms, a lot of domains. She also is skilled in intrigue, so were we to push her in that direction, that would be great as well. But most importantly, she is a genius, and because Guifre II de Barcelona and Inuguin are both geniuses, there is a guaranteed chance that every single one of their children will have the genius trait. Essentially, my player heir will 100% give rise to a bloodline that will always have the genius trait. This is perfect for us. I could not find a better suitor. She is 22, so she is relatively older than us, than my son by 8 years, but that's not really a problem. The only thing that is a bit distracting is that my son would lose a bit of prestige, which sets him up, not necessarily for failure, but does make things a little bit hard. However, it will be accepted thanks to my promising prospects. And it in fact is the promising prospects that gives us that great chance. Wouldn't happen otherwise, so I'm very, very thankful for it. And in the midst of ruling the empire, I had forgotten that my son, or Radulf de Barcelona, is currently betrothed to Miriam bint Yusuf Butamid, which was secured for the alliance. Overall, my children will all soon be married, will soon come of age, leaving me with a rather empty household, perhaps until grandchildren come about. We'll have to see. Acceptance of a betrothal, and acceptance of the other betrothal. We now have an alliance with one of the strongest military leaders in the Iberian Peninsula, which we could leverage, hopefully, in time to push the things that we need to do. And the time has already come. Nimilde comes of age. I'm proud to see my daughter no longer as a child, with sufficient tutelage. A child that displayed little natural inclination towards diplomatic influence can come to truly understand it. A true silver tongue. She could sway the position of counts and kings alike. When she speaks, the court listens in enraptured silence. Duchess Antha's contributions toward Nimilde's education cannot go unmentioned. Her lessons have given Nimilde the valuable knowledge for her future life. She is a gray eminence. Diplomacy +8. It is absolutely fantastic. And with that in mind, I am reminded that I have a ward position. Now, Raquilda de Barcelona is certainly someone that we could go under, but I actually would like to get her under the tutelage of myself. She will accept this. There's so many things going positively for her. She accepts it, and that is excellent. If we took a look, we can see that she has, this is actually perfect. Stewardship education is going to be the best benefit for her, which is awesome to see. But also, betrothed can marry, so let's go ahead and guarantee that, which does secure the alliance for good. Very nice. Well done. It's the best feeling in the world when you become a grandpa. And my daughter Maria, yes, the one that suffered from consumption, who is now very clearly very healthy, has given birth to a daughter. Since the little one is part of de Barcelona's dynasty, she should be blessed with a good name. And after some careful deliberation, I've decided on our ancestral name of Hier. May you grow strong and wise, my granddaughter. Heck yes. Well, it's to be expected. The war of Al-Ghazira al-Hadra, border raid of Labla, lasted just over 2 years. We lost the war, as was to be expected. Fortunately for me, because of my war contribution, I actually come out on top. I gained 75 prestige despite not doing anything but losing a battle, and my opinion now goes to 100. Very nice. So be it. It works for me. Because of this, though, I gained a level of fame. I am now an illustrious, prestigious man. Exalted among men is to be expected, but I don't know if I'll be able to attain it. It is the next goal in life without a doubt. Now, unfortunately, no sooner did I, oh my goodness, died of natural causes. Nexus, you were my counselor for such a short period of time. Now I have to replace you. Now, fortunately, I do kind of get to kill two birds with one stone. While I don't have the best choices, with a Marshal of 14, Mayor Gombo Krati of a lot will get assigned. He is our best bet. He's okay. Certainly not who I would have wanted to have picked, but of course, because he is a powerful vassal, I then satiate that desire amongst him, increasing his opinion of me by a great deal, which only goes a ways towards making sure that I don't get killed in an assassination attempt, which is always a positive ordeal. Hopefully no one else dies, because unfortunately, we don't have the pool of people that are worthwhile to bring into our council. So let's hope for the best and hope that they last in good health for as long as possible. In this time of relative peace and just a building up and a patience and a waiting, my eyes have been set on the remaining 2 islands in this area. My armies are fulfilled. We are at max capacity. I have 12 knights, loads of levies, pikemen, and light horse. It is time to go to war against Count Johanna of Minorca. Now the question is, which shall we go after? And it appears that the County of Minorca, or Minorca, the barony of Minorca, is where we will go. I will push my claims, gaining the contested title. He has no allies, and whereas I have 3, we should be able to take this on relatively quick. It's only going to cost us 29 prestige, much like the last time. Let's rally. We're going to rally everyone here on Palma. It will take a little bit longer, but I believe going here will negate the possibility of a surprise attack happening on this castle. Let's pray to the Lord on high that our voyage will be swift, and that he isn't over here, that he's over in the barony of Ibiza. And as I'm about to set sail for the port, the implacable Guifre, this is my bishop, I am proud to the documents, both ancient, nevertheless certain provenance. Finally enough material to make the case you are the rightful lord of the sheikdom of La Rida. All it's missing is one little bribe. Easy. That is a piece of cake. 72 prestige is nothing for us. And before, I will give him orders to pursue the county of Sobrarbe. Now that is in the kingdom of Navarra, which is okay for us. This man somehow has still not died. And I'm hoping that we can then gain claims because, again, as I will mention once more, in order to found the kingdom of Aragon, we need to completely control Barcelona, Valencia, and Navarra. It has to be done. Mush. An unfortunate surprise as I walk up onto the shores and see that the enemy has apparently hired some mercenaries. Now, overall, we have a better army commander, which is myself. We have more commander traits and higher quality men. However, they have more men-at-arms counters, and we are facing a recently disembarked penalty. Hopefully, this will be enough. We do have a vastly superior army. We'll have to hope that our knights and everyone involved is more than what we need to achieve victory. And indeed, it is a piece of cake. My word, that is a piece of cake. Oh no! Oh no. This is terrible. This is not what was expected to happen for me. Where are my personal champions? Where are my bodyguards? I am now wounded. I am now one-legged. And it appears that I will soon be one-eyed. My word, that was a vicious victory. Not something I wanted to have, but of course, it shouldn't affect many things aside from my potential to... And that actually does reduce my prowess by a great deal as well. Not the best thing to happen this late in my life either. During the siege, I received a message. The Sakaliba settlers, a band of several hundred pale-skinned Sakaliba, enslaved men and women from the eastern reaches of Europe, have escaped the realm of my acquaintance Emir Aziz. Ooh, this is actually right next to us. Talk as he may about how treasured they were in his armies and his harem, they have braved many dangers to seek freedom. We all have scars, their leader Voislav tells me, on our bodies or deep inside, but we are strong and determined. We long for some land of our own, where we can speak our ancestral tongue. If you'll let us settle in the city of Alcuda, we'd work hard to make it prosper. We don't need to worry about cities on my behalf. I can't control them. So it makes sense. He will gain a good opinion of us. Emir Aziz will grow closer to forming a rivalry, which will only help us in the end. And then we would get Sakaliba settlers, which increases our holding taxes and defender advantage. Absolutely. Make me proud. My son and heir to the kingdom, Guifré II, has come of age. He was an avid learner. He's become quite the purveyor of knowledge and has proven himself fully capable of structuring advanced theoretical and theological arguments. He is an astute intellectual, giving him 6 learning. If he can take over the dynasty head, he will actually aid our technological advances very quickly. Unfortunately, I did not know that he had snuck into the ranks as a knight. We need to take care of that quickly. Oh son, where are you? I will forbid you. But you're also not going to wear a peasant's hat. No, sir. There we go. That works for me. Also, we can, the betrothed can marry, absolutely. Again, that guaranteed genius trait will be perfect for us and our dynasty. It worked out, and we have a perk. Loyalty and respect, I don't think we'll really need that. We do have quite a few spearmen on our hands, which I think would be great. Naval speed would also be very important. We're going to roll with that. Man, I am in a mess health-wise, but I think it will work. And also a missive from King Charles the Bald of West Francia. He wants to take Radulf Rattus as his guardian, as his ward. I will absolutely decline. Heck no, I'm not going to give you my children. Not one single day will go by where you will have control of them. And great news during the siege, my daughter Elisenda has given birth to a son. Since the little one is of course part of our dynasty, we get to name him. You know what? Borel sounds like a very strong Barcelonian name. Absolutely. May you go strong and wise, my grandson. We have captured my foe, Count Johanna, during the siege of Minorca. Now, we could execute him. I'm not going to execute him. That was a joke. We could ransom him, but he can't even afford a good ransom. It's something that I would do to just see if we can't. But the point is, the Barcelonian claim to the county of Minorca, a short war of 10 months, can already be enforced, gaining me an extra piece of land where I can then immediately disband. We don't have a terrible long amount of time to increase the control in Palma, which will be great. And in fact, we could go ahead and build a trade port, which would go a very long ways towards developing the area in a very positive direction. A short war? How long until I can push this? Another 12 years. If I'm alive, we will definitely do it, but my son should be able to gain the pressed claims as well. So we should be able to knock this out, and hopefully it will do great things for us. Now we could turn right around and go to war elsewhere. But I think it would be good if I sat down, I regained a little bit of my health, try to work out the way things are, and just see what happens in the rest of my realm as I take a breather in Barcelona. In a swift turn of events, things aren't looking great for me. No sooner did my brother Radulf die of natural causes at the age of 50 than it appears that I am on death's doorstep. The aggravated wound refuses to heal. I am now malnourished. It seems this war will indeed be the death of me. Thankfully, Guifré, he will be able to ascend to the throne without needing a guardian or anything of that nature, but I had not planned on leaving him so soon. Perhaps God has other plans? Perhaps not. It is on death's doorstep that I'm happy to see my ward, Countess Elisenda of Rosseo, come of age, and it's time that she left my care. Displaying a thorough understanding of the flow of gold and the wanderings of people, she even expresses a remarkable creativity in dealing with these matters. She is a fortune builder, which is a fantastic trait, and while I am still coherent. For my niece, Quixote de Impures, I bring to you Wolfgang von Falkenstein, which would hopefully bring me a very high prowess man, but also would increase the robust. We could develop a line of knights for our dynasty, assuming they stay within our realm. The robust would be great. He will accept, of course. Let's send that proposal off. And to my niece, Riquilda de Barcelona, I bring to you Comatas, who is, while not a renowned prowess man, also has hail, which is a small chance for an increase. Out of all of the traits that are relatively acceptable, I think if we could somehow develop a line of knights that would be loyal to our dynasty, that would be a pretty good incentive. And this will be the last of the proposals. Hopefully they will all accept, and we will be able to further our dynasty and secure some sort of holding before I die. An accepted marriage proposal and another one. Fantastic. Fantastic. Wolfgang joins. My brother-in-law and steward, absolutely not. So we have quite the lineage here, quite the effective group of men at our side, which will hopefully help Guifré II. It seems that, at least from a military standpoint, we will have quite the army of knights and soldiers. I'm very thankful for that, absolutely. I am happy that I got to see all of my children come of age, and Radulf Rattus is the last of those now men. With an excellent grasp of all manners of etiquette, and understanding of all kinds of entertainment, and the eloquence to go with it, he'll have little trouble navigating the life at court. A charismatic leader. They grow up fast, indeed they do. And a betrothal can marry, absolutely. Everyone wins. We have an alliance that will hopefully be passed down into my son. My brother. Our family lineage is going down quick. 2 of our siblings have died. It's only a matter of time before everyone else starts passing. Perhaps we're not meant to live to be a long time. Hopefully the next generation will be able to move on a little more. I, Duke Guifré II, have now risen to the throne. My father, Duke Guifré I of Barcelona, rests in the arms of the Lord at a mere 55 years of age, dying from his wounds. Although quite famous for his sharp intellect, he could not outsmart death. And now I have ascended the throne. I have been blessed with the awesome knowledge of all things between heaven and earth, and my rule is sure to be legendary. Ladies and gentlemen, Duke Guifré I has died, and Duke Guifré II has risen. We will continue the next episode as Duke Guifré II of Barcelona, and hopefully we will be able to see a whole host, a whole range of things ascend from him. Guys, thank you so much for hanging out with me today. I hope you enjoyed it. I'm very excited to see this next step, and I hope you are too. If you enjoy any part of this, we'll go over everything in the next episode. Be sure to give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and of course turn on bell notifications. But of course leave your comments. What do you expect of Duke Guifré II of Barcelona? I will take them all into effect as we start this new rule, and we'll see where this new chapter in the de Barcelona family will go to in the future. Guys, thank you again once more. This is Havoc, and I'll see you in the next one.
Iberia, ravaged by the bloody tides of 4 kings and sultans, dukes and emirs. Adversity makes for strange bedfellows, my friend. And you must tread carefully if you are to decide the fate of Iberia.